All right, we're here for the first match of the league with Rakdos Vampires. Couple of changes. Interested to see how they do. We'll see if the Blystep pathway screws us at all. We're on the draw. They have 7 cards. They reveal Yorion. I think we can keep. I would like a Thoughtseize, but I don't want Fatal Pushes. Oh, I was afraid they were going to play an Elf on one and I was going to scream. I really like playing Weirdo Bant Yorion decks with Elves. And they could be anything over there, you know. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Maybe I should have Mutavaulted first. That 2 damage might kill me. I hope it doesn't. We have the old Sword and Vein Ripper on 3. Let's hope it's good enough. See if they're Enigmatic Incarnation and start getting a bunch of creatures in play. Alright, well, we got the back-to-back skis. They could play some sort of sweeper effect if they play blue. They can Verdict. They could also just be doing Bring to Light shenanigans. You know, I don't really know what they're playing. White and red. Helix this Sorin. That's fine. So they're probably Yorion whatevers. Alright, we'll just play a second Vein Ripper, I guess. You wish Vamps weren't a part of the format? I don't know, man. I quite like them. I think Rakdos needed some help. I mean, it's been top of the metagame for a long time. It really fell off at the last Pro Tour, and the Vampire deck kind of saved it. It kind of like saved the whole archetype. I'm not saying that that's like necessary for survival or whatever, but it's just something that happened. Oh man, that's brutal. And it was even the one that we hate. The one that exiles. I think we'll be fine after sideboard. We just have a ton of discard effects and the combo. Enough. Alright, this is bad. Especially if they have Fabled Passage. Man, brutal. Hey, you just gotta change how you build your deck, man. You just gotta play removal spells that kill Vein Ripper. Every opponent I played against can kill Vein Ripper. Like, all of them. You know? So it's just about adaptation. And if your deck is like a creature-based deck, you know, you just have to shove through. The problem is that people can't change decks as much as they used to because cards are older and more expensive. God damn, we can't cast both of these, can we? Yeah, we can, I guess. All right, let's go Harvester. And we'll go pay 3 life, kill the Omnath. I don't think we can win the game. They were able to defeat our best draw of turn 3 and turn 4 Vein Ripper, but we kind of walked into a sweeper effect, but I was kind of just putting them on a 1-turn clock where they had to kill it or die, and they had the answer and we lost. If they Reflection the Phyrexian, I think it becomes a 0 token. Like, I think it becomes an incubator token with no counters on it. Don't quote me on that. Which is why I killed the Omnath and not the Reflection. Also, the Harvester here can kill Reflection if I need it to next turn. Vamp's a better gameplay than Greasefang? I definitely agree with that. Although I think it's a much more powerful deck than Greasefang because it's basically Greasefang that gets to play Rakdos mid-range cards. So it's more like a Splinter Twin deck, if I'm being honest. And I know that sounds... It's not Splinter Twin, but it's Splinter Twin-esque. You know, the old Feldar Guardian Saheeli deck played very similarly. I feel like an attack here makes some sense with maybe both. I would just trade with the Reflection probably to save damage. Hopefully they don't have an answer to my blood token. All right, let's play Fable. Just say go. And so now they can Yorion, but they don't get much value out of it. I don't think I'm going to pop this blood token unless it's going to die. There are a lot of decks I like playing against less. What the hell is this? So analyze the pollen so they collect 8, and now they can search for any creature or land. Okay. Analyze the pollen's kind of cool. It's like a Tune with Ether or any of the other Traverse the Ulvenwalds, but alright, I'm just going to concede. They're at 2 high alive total playing something that draws 4 cards or whatever, and we're already very far behind. Alright, Leyline, not good, but Lily is good. I like Duress and Lily. I don't mind Edict, but I think we just cut all the Fatal Pushes, and we just go these 4 for these 4. And we'll keep like a 1 Edict, 1 Bitter. Actually, the Edict is maybe okay. And do we want to trim a Zealot? That way we can hit their Caryatid. I like having a couple Caryatid answers. I don't think Path is good, though. I think a lot of Pioneer games have the unwillingness to change decks as often as they should. Reminds me of SAG Modern Hype. Well, I think it's just because it's a non-rotating format, A, so we don't have to. And B, the decks are just expensive, man. I don't know what to tell you. You know, standard, we could change decks in standard because most standard decks were like $100 for so long. It's a lot harder to do in modern. All right, this hand's great. We don't have an answer to Caryatid, so I think I'll lead with Thoughtseize because I want to play Harvester on 2. And we can save the dress later for a Bring to Light or something. Okay, so they have exactly the thing I was talking about, but the Omnath is also scary. Well, let's just take Caryatid because it slows them down too much. And then I doubt we'll play Duress. They don't have a white source yet. Oh, they do. They have Rafine's Tower. So their hand and deck is perfect. That's what I'm going to say. Hand and deck is perfect. Sometimes you just lose, man. I don't know. Sorry about the late stream today, folks. I know I got started a little late, but I had a lunch meeting and... Ooh. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on, too, when I'm done streaming. This might be a short stream today, also. All right, let's go. They played Rafine's Tower, so they're going to Helix me. So let's just play this and let them Helix it, and then we'll play Fable. Let's hope they don't go anything cool. Maybe I can find an answer to the Omnath from hand off the Fable. Anybody know some BTL content? I don't know, man. There's not a whole lot of Pioneer content around. I don't know. I guess people are just like afraid of Magic Online. And streaming is a nightmare, man. Streaming is like so hard. Not that it's a difficult thing to do. It's a difficult thing to do and survive. Like it's just not, it just doesn't pay enough as a job unless you're like top 1% of streamers or whatever. That's why we get sponsors. And that's why I don't know. I have like 18 revenue streams. It's horrible. Yeah, but does Claudio even stream anymore? Does he make YouTube content? I don't know. Also, Claudio has an H on the end of it, I think. Nice, Novembers. Glad to have you. I don't know why they're playing so slowly. They were playing really fast in game 1, and now it's like glacial pace. I guess they can play Valky and try to take Harvester, but I have Harvester, so it would be moot. Let's attack, let them Helix this. Doesn't even play Valky. I mean, when you draw the Valky, it's horrible. And you don't have a way to shuffle it back in, so like, you know, I get it. I think once Thunder Junction's out, people do more Pioneer content. Why is Thunder Junction the breaking point, you know? Why does that matter versus any other set coming out? I think we're just entering into Pioneer RCQ season, and I hope more people play it. I like it when everyone plays the same format. And I enjoy playing Pioneer, so it'll be fun to have some more competition running around. Alright, tapped lands. They can Valky me, take the Harvester. Have another Helix instead. Okay. Magical Line is lagging pretty badly. Alright, let's go discard 2. Harvester. They might not even have anything for Duress, so let's discard Duress. And we're just going to play this here 6-6. We'll see if it can close the game before it kills me. We will get to maybe copy it with Fable. What's up, Mono Red? How are you? So green, red, white, blue. So they can go Hinterland, Omnath here. We'll probably Duress next turn to keep our Archfiend alive. That's assuming that they kill this. Or they don't kill this, but they might just kill it. Okay. Alright, 3 cards in hand. We know 2 of them. What are the odds? Never tell me the odds. It was a good draw. 2 Omnaths? Lol. Alright, well, we'll take 1. They play 1, we'll copy our Blood Tithe and kill it. We'll go straight into Phoenix. I don't know yet, but maybe something does. There's a lot of there are a lot of cards previewed so far that I think are Pioneer playable. There's the whole mechanic of plot is excellent for Pioneer, right? It allows you to set up combo turns. And while I don't mean like full combo turns like Storm combo, I mean like you plot this thing and then the next turn you play the thing and then a bunch of other stuff. And you basically use your mana on a turn that was more efficient without exposing your thing to removal or whatever. But there's the 1/2 flyer with haste that whenever you play a non-creature, it gets +2/+0, and it has plot. That card seems wild. Yeah. There's a lot of cool ones, the special effects, but that one is on my mind as well. Alright, it wasn't Fabled Passage. It wasn't Fabled Passage, chat. I'm going to pitch this Ripper in case we draw something. Nice. That's exactly what I wanted. Take Valky. Just going to play Hive. Attack. Character doesn't block the Blood Ties very well. Yes, I agree. I agree. Up the Beanstalk. Maybe best draw possible. Maybe I should have discarded this Hive. I thought maybe attacking this turn with it would be good. All right, we'll copy and play Cavern and activate, and then we'll plan to discard things later on. But we'll swing for 9 here. I'm going to eat their Valky in case they have a way to shuffle it back in. There might be something that's worse for me if it goes back in the deck, but I don't know. They're just at such a high life total, though, man. The Helixes have been an excellent addition to the archetype. And their mana base looks like it's just fluid, right, with the Triomes, so... Are they buying Yorion? No. They're casting something that ruins my life. Yeah, you win. I guess they don't win. Let's see what they get. I'm like really hasty to concede. Do they miss? Unmordigo, Kolaghan's Command, Vanishing Verse. So they drew 3 cards. Awkward. They drew. So we know they have these 3. So Vanishing Verse is monocolored. And they did not kill my Reflection for some reason. We'll kill the Niv. I guess they don't have a Swamp or a Plains active, maybe? Or maybe they just wanted a blocker. Alright, we're going to attack. And then when they go to fetch, I'm going to Edict this so they don't get to use the mana this turn. I don't know, maybe they just made a huge blunder. Also possible. Alright, we're going to upkeep Edict. We're not going to do it on the end step. Probably saving the verse for Hive. I mean, Hive's not that scary. This Reflection is terrifying. We killed their 6/6 for 1 mana. They definitely should have killed it. That was a horrible mistake on their part. And I'm hoping that it comes back to bite them. We'll see. Alright, 1 mana binding. Big fan of the spree cards. I think the spree cards are great. It makes me want to play Micromancer. I think I'm going to go try some Rona combo again with Micromancer and some of the sprees that are on color. And I'll just like elf into Micromancer, you know? Like green-blue Keenan stuff. It'll start to feel like a commander deck at some point, I think. All that mana with Micromancer spree. Alright, so we know they have Kolaghan's Command, Vanishing Verse, Unmordigo. So let's just go put a counter on this. They'll go Kolaghan's Command to kill it and get back something, and then we'll lose. Actually, I'll just concede when they do that. Because they're just going to get back Niv, and then we're empty. What's this song called? This is by Oliver Tree. It's called Cash Machine. All right, you went. Keep. Got a great opener. Pathway still isn't hurting me yet. Good news. Deduce, Get Lost, Emperor. Emperor's always the one, I think. It's just so annoying. Plus them hold up mana. Probably should have played this on red. In case of Field of Ruin. But we drew another black-red duel. Let's play Fable so that if they have Counterspell, they can't play Deduce. Alright, so they're going to play Deduce here. Let's go and attack. They might play Get Lost, but I doubt it. Get Lost on the Shaman is a pretty weak play. Maybe Get Lost on the Fable and tap play it. But they drew this. They could play, it? Oh, man. Temporary Lockdown. That's the one. Lockdown with Deduce is a bit of a non-bow, but still solid, I think. Alright, Chapter 2. We're definitely going to discard Blackleaf Cliffs, and I think it's just Blackleaf Cliffs. Alright, so let's go attack first and see what they do. The Thoughtseize. If they have a counterspell for it. I think I'm just going to take Memory Deluge. Let them have all the counters and removal. Let's play a Blood Tithe Harvester that's almost certainly going to get hit with a counterspell of some kind. No more lies. Okay. Here we go. Could have played this land. Don't mind holding it though. All right, let's go attack again. And then we're just basically trying to force them to play their Get Lost. See if they absorb the Thoughtseize just to gain 3 life. They might just want to pop a clue token though. Dark Typhoon. Surprised they didn't cycle that. I'm going to play Fable. I'm going to make them play the Absorb. And then Archfiend might get in there. They still have to Get Lost though, but I basically just don't want them to... I don't know. I don't want to be able to just draw cards without any punish. Wow! Alright, let's see if they... We're going to copy the Dust Legion Zealot. If they want to get Lost it or bounce it, it's fine. It's fine, we get 2 maps. I don't really want to play this Archfiend here. Top card is Sorin. I don't really want that Sorin. I don't have anything to do with it. Maybe I will play this Archfiend, because we just threaten lethal next turn. And they have a clue only. And they didn't have a removal spell for the Shaman, so they're going to need a counterspell here. We'll play the Swamp. And we'll cross our fingers that they don't find Sweeper. I think this Pioneer season is going to be pretty fun. Going to try and use creativity, but we'll see. I think creativity is great. I think that's a good... Oh, nice. They didn't find it. So we just pick, right? This is a matchup where I really want the 3rd Lily. I think I'm going to try the... Not Dust Shadow. The pump ability seems great. And them not being able to gain life seems nice. Also just have these removal spells that kind of suck. So 4 Fatal Push out for sure. And then I think 1 Archfiend can come out. And maybe 2. I kind of like the Bitter Triumph because it can hit maybe the Shieldred's Edict. I know both can hit Planeswalkers. Maybe these Knights are bad, actually. Maybe these should just be Edicts to keep their Planeswalkers in check. Let's try that. I'm not sure that the Knight's good in the matchup, but maybe just any 2-drop's fine. If I had Pro White, I would probably do it. Alright, we'll keep. Hand is okay. We definitely want to draw some discard. I really like my Blue-Eyed Creativity parallelograms. I read about it the other day, like a month ago. And old Fskura, aka Islands in Front on Twitter, was playing it a lot on Arena and just mushing people. Alright, well, let's draw out a counterspell here of some kind, or take one of their better cards. No more lies, that way they conceal info. And then the question is, do I play Fable or Lily? And which one do I want to get countered? I think I want the Fable to get countered, and if it resolves, it's great, because we can just discard extra lands. Wow, just resolved. We drew a Swamp, which means we only have 2 more left for fields. Let's see if they engage with our mana base like that. Get lost on my maps, or on my token. Okay. No fourth land. That's excellent news for me. We're definitely going to discard 2 land. I'm going to go for a Lily and see if they counter. They don't. Wow. Discard Bitter. That way I can get my hand empty next turn. This might actually just kill them. Like I said, the Lilies are extremely good against the control decks, and that's why I kind of want a third in the board. And this is also why Absorb is unplayable, by the way, in case anyone was wondering if Absorb was playable. Let's go for Sorin, see if they have anything. Oh, they just conceded. All right, so this hand's fine. We're in the draw, but our hand is all 2s. Oops, all 2s. Rogren Triumph. I don't think our deck is very good against Triumphs in general. No one drop. Lift top retreat. So maybe this is just guy creativity. Let's play around counter spells. We'll just play our 3-power creature. Force them to have removal, and if the removal is anything other than Lightning Helix, we'll be pretty happy, probably. Next turn we'll go Mutavault Fable, and then turn after probably double Dust Legion. Depending on what they do, of course. And it's kind of our plan. Just get more info, try to draw, discard. Oh, no worries. Anger? Ooh, Fable. I think I kill their token and then play my own Fable. If I attack, I'm like happy with the trade, so that just means I should kill their thing. Because I don't want them to attack and be able to get man. I'm gonna play Sorin. No, Fable. I was gonna say maybe Sorin minus Dust Legion Zealot to just like use mana efficiently. But the Sorin being able to minus into Vein Ripper is like part of its power. Yeah, I agree. I think 80 card Yorion's awkward. 3 colors is awkward. I really like the blue-red build, Thunder, just for whatever it's worth. Voltage Surge felt like a huge upgrade over any of the other removal because we have Deduce now. There's a lot of stuff to like about it. But I know F-Skura was really enjoying Spell Pierce in the main deck, but I didn't test with it at all. So the list that I posted is just the one that I last played and liked. But we're going to do all sorts of different decks whenever Pioneer season comes because Outlaws is going to be legal. So we'll be trying new decks. I want to get like as much stock content out of the way, right? Maybe play some Phoenix or something. Another Fable. I'll probably throw my Mutavault at the token. Although I guess I can just go Dust Legion. Offer the trade maybe. I think I'm going to discard both lands. I think this is just going to be like a long game. All right, I think I'm just fine offering the trade, and we can maybe kill the back halves with the Sorin. And if they let this not trade, then we'll throw the Dust Legion at it. Funny RCQ starts April 20th, yeah. So we got like 3 weeks to kill, just like playing stock stuff. I like not having to play around free spells. Alright, so we'll sack this Legion Zealot, kill the Goblin. Let me see if I can find islands in front. He got creativity pilled. He started playing creativity in modern. This is I believe this is a best of one Gear Hulk list, if you want to check that out. Okay, so Teferi Plus. I think we're in some trouble, chat. All right, let's start with maybe I play this other Mutavault, actually. Let's go black and 1. The front Mutavault's always the one that's summoning sick. We'll go plus sacking this vampire. If they kill this vampire in response, we'll animate a Mutavault. All right, we're going to upkeep Bitter Triumph. It plays into Counterspell, but I don't know. Maybe we can't. They just put a Trax in the graveyard? All right, so now it doesn't matter. So let's pay 3 life and kill this Teferi. All right, and let's just hope we don't get hit with creativity. Creativity will probably beat us. We only have 1 removal spell left, and we had to kill that Teferi. I really don't think we can leave that Teferi sitting around. What do you think of the Atraxa build? I think it's weird to play creativity where you only do X equals 1. I guess you can technically do X equals 2 to get double Atraxa triggers. But to me, that's not really that great. I think that you could probably build Transmog. But I mean, you can certainly just do it, right? And people have been doing it and have some success with it. But I don't know. The Gear list felt good. I don't know what to tell you. It just felt good to me when I was playing it. That doesn't mean it's the best. It's just what it felt. Tracks it feels weak to pick your poison. I mean, you still draw 10 cards or whatever, man. All right, Prismari command, kill my thing, make a treasure. And now they can go get Atraxa. Brutal. All right. All right, so they get Fable, Helix, Lounge. They only drew 3 cards, but they have this huge thing. So we have to draw our other 2-mana removal here, or we lose. All right, so let's go pitch a Hive. Oh my god, we did it. I can't believe we did it, actually. So let's go throw this at the Atraxa. Or, sorry, at the Kiki. We'll go Saxon non-token. Then we'll attack, play another Fable. I can't believe it. I really can't. And it was like the worst Atraxa I've ever seen also. I don't even remember what it was so bad. So they have, I think it was Lightning Helix. Yeah, Fable, Lightning Helix, in a Xander's Lounge. So I can Helix one of these. Kind of feel sorry? Ah, come on. How do you feel sorry? Their hand is full. They're kicking my buns. I really don't want to discard this Hive, but I think I'll have to. So we have to just be cognizant of Helix. And so I think what we do is we ignore the Teferi and go face. And then so maybe that means Hive. Maybe we can start with like a Thoughtseize if we draw one. I guess we have to discard the Hive. I don't think... I mean, next turn matters. I guess we'll just see what we hit. Alright. I'm going to just discard both lands. Oh, they have a stop on my draw step. I wonder if they're killing this Fable. They do have Get Lost, I think, probably. Alright, Thoughtseize first. That way, if they don't Helix, we can take Helix and then go Animate Mutavault and then send 5 at the Teferi without sacrificing anything. Vita. So we can't kill a Teferi through Helix. Vita's a tough one there, man. We know that Fable next turn. Do we waste a bunch of time trying to kill the Teferi? I think the answer is probably yes. So we'll just send 6 at Teferi. Maybe we should have targeted the Mutavault with Sorin just to guarantee. Alright. Teferi both. We'll just hold on to the Sorin, I suppose. It's been a cool game. I'm glad I didn't concede. I was very close to conceding earlier. They can respond. Look, no. They can respond. If I animate Mutavault and then plus the Sorin, they can kill the Mutavault before the Sorin ability resolves. It's not... sacrificing a creature is not part of the cost. Okay. Alright, now we'll concede. Maybe? Probably. We get to see most of their deck. Alright, so let's get all these Fatal Pushes out. The Archfiends don't seem that great. The Archfiends are really good against creature decks. Seem pretty bad against what's going on the other side. Edict. Maybe we keep 2 Archfiend. I don't... Maybe the Dusks is okay. Alright, it's just got pushes and Archfiend. We'll bring in the Edict, the Lilies, and the Dresses. Seems fine. The graveyard stuff doesn't seem like it matters that much. Archfiend dies to like a bunch of targeted removal. They can react, Lucy. That's what we were just talking about. This is okay. So like I keep playing against blue-white style decks, right? And the more I play, the more I just know that the third Lily is right. So I think it's probably Knight of Dust Shadow -2 plus a Grafdigger plus a Lily. And I think that that's like my standard list. And I think that's what I'm going to post today on my Patreon. But I've basically been playing this deck, and I've learned it inside out, and I've come to like some conclusions about the stock list. And the stock list can change, you know. But I really think that we're dangerously close to the stock list. All right, we'll keep this one, and hopefully they don't have targeted removal or counterspell for a Sorin. Or sorry, spot removal or sweeper removal, whatever. You get it. All right, see you later, November. Yeah, that's my specialty, November. So if you want to know more about sideboard stuff, I do a lot of writing about it. So make sure to hit the Patreon up if you haven't already. And I do sideboard guides for most of the decks I work on. I already built one for this one. I'm just going to post my updated list on there later today with some thoughts. Volcom, thanks for following. Another land, not where we want to be, but it is what it is. What can we do, like Sorin fight rigging? Chat, what do you think about Elf Sorin fight rigging? All right, let's attack for 1. They do a Vampire Dino before? Maybe. But I just want to turn 2 Sorin and have it be good. But turn 2 fight rigging is also great. The blue-white players have been playing Hallowed Moonlight, and Hallowed Moonlight's such a noggin whack against Sorin, man. Just like the moment you mine, it's just like, ugh. Next turn, we'll plus on the Vein Ripper, animate Mutavault, and swing in. Hopefully we draw Thoughtseize so we can make sure we don't get Atraxa next turn, but we can force a trade. And it might even be lethal. Might even be lethal. I didn't find the thing. A swing in. So they're going to clue or nothing into creativity. Nice. No Traxa. All right, game 3. And that's honestly, most decks in this format just have a nut draw, like the Sorin Vein Ripper, and Rakdos not having that for so long meant that most games were just grindy. Now that's just not the case anymore. All right, I'm going to be on the draw. I'm going to cut an Edict for the Archfiend again, just to be a little more threat dense, and I don't know. Maybe that's bad. Actually, that's probably bad. Let's just give a... I mean, the prospect of beating an Atraxa is difficult, because even if you kill it, you basically have to kill them that turn, or they just follow up with a Sweeper or a Torrent of interaction from all the free cards that they drew. So, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough out here. Maybe Knight's okay, but it just feels like it's weak. Doesn't stop creativity. The fact that Grafdigger's Cage doesn't stop creativity has always bummed me out, if I'm being honest. Alright, I think I'm going to Thoughtseize on 2, but maybe that's wrong in case I draw a 2-drop. We'll see what we draw for the first turn, I'll think about it. Spring still in this deck? I don't know what that is. You're talking about Leyline. We played one match with Good Blank and lost to Prized Amalgams, so I went back to Leyline. This will keep. Scooter, you're a madman. Just play Leyline of the Void. Alright, let's Thoughtseize so that we can Edict a Fable token. So they have it all covered. So maybe we just take Deduce and hope they don't draw land. Hope they don't draw White Source. This is one of the few spots where I'm not really digging the fourth pathway, but this is neither of them. All right, let's just say go. Oh, that's game. That's game. This is another reason why I don't like the 3-color build, man. 3-color build just gets color screwed. Concession. Take the deduce concession. Ah, they found white. Sacred Foundry. Are you gonna shock? Can you afford to shock? So they're just holding up no more lies. So we should just not. We should just not play anything. I'm going to hold up Shieldred's Edict. I should have probably put a counter on this Mutavault, but I thought it might die. This hand is also weak, but it's on 6, so I think I'll just put back a land and keep. Put back a Blood Crypt because we just have 2 Black Cleaves already. Wonder if I should, because I went to the 4th pathway, wonder if I should cut a swamp for the 4th Mutavault again. Seems like the mirror. Let's hope they don't Thoughtseize us. Copter. I actually really dislike Copter in these decks. Anti-Copter builds are like the old way to build it. And the Fables, or sorry, and the Copters and the Vampire builds were cool, but they really opened you up to temporary lockdown. And I don't think your deck really wins on the early aggressive axis very often. You're like more of a control deck, a control combo deck, kind of. Archfiend of the Dross is just an enormous threat. Obviously, Copter into 3-drop that cruise it is good. And here we're likely going to lose. Okay, see if we can draw the... Even Edict's not that good. I guess if they crew an attack, they can lose Edicts. I think that's what they're thinking about right now. It's like a pretty obvious crew attack. Unless you think your opponent has Shieldred's Edict in their deck, which we do. We just have the 1. Damn, is this what I've been doing to people? Alright, we'll discard 2. Oh my god. Amy! Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Oh, let's see. Are you doing the convention this weekend, or did you decide to do the arena thing? Big raid. Yeah, that's a lot of raiders. Appreciate you. For those of you just joining, I'm Tandy. We're playing Pioneer. We are in the midst of our Rakdos Vampires arc. We are currently Tune 1 playing against the Mirror, and our opponent had the infamous turn 3 Sorin into Vein Ripper, and we don't have the answer yet, so we're going to hope to draw the answer very soon. I guess holding back Copter also protects the Sorin, and the Sorin plus on the Vein Ripper makes racing impossible, but racing Vein Ripper just is impossible. It's very difficult. All right, so now we have basically bitter... Is it bitter? It's not Bitter Reunion. Bitter Triumph. We have one Bitter Triumph that can save us. Maybe we can draw a combo of Push Edict. I will just pitch both lands. Wow. Yeah, maybe Edict being Edict is just horrible, because if it were Bitter Triumph, we might have a shot. And as it stands, I think we are 0%. We're dead next turn. 10. Yeah, we're just dead. I guess we can Edict and just see what they sacrifice. We can... Is just playing Vein Ripper good enough? We can send both at Sorin, play Vein Ripper. Yeah, let's try it. We're going to lose so much life doing this, though. That's the problem. Is Amy in charge of Brawl yet? I hope so. I think Amy would be a good Brawl captain. I don't know much about the format other than it's basically Commander on Arena. That's... I don't know if there's any specialty rules or whatever. I guess it's not technically Commander because it includes cards with alchemy typing. Yeah, she's the Brawl star for sure. I watch her play not often. I have her on in the background a bunch because I just really enjoy Magic the Gathering. Alright, I will offer trades, otherwise I'm deads. So we lose some, gain some. They drew a card, but we're not dead. We're not dead. That went much better than I thought it was going to go. They just didn't draw their removal for my 6-drop. And they could have just, like, Crude Copter, killed it if they had Bitter. Alright, but this is the type of game we can win. This is embarrassing. I think I'm just going to go back to Bitter. I will say go. We can maybe do some really cool stuff if I draw one of my last 2 Vein Rippers, but I don't think it'll be lethal. But we can go make a Reflection on Instep, untap, Sorin minus, attack with, make a copy of the Ripper, attack with 2 goblins, make 2 more copies of the Ripper. They don't attack, but one of them does. And anything that dies just drains for an enormous amount. Something like that. And then end of turn, everything dies and drains for an enormous amount. Chewy says, is Vampire's too strong? It might be. It might be. I wouldn't be surprised if it were. Alright, so we will make a copy of, I guess, this goblin. And I think we're going to double block this Preacher. And if they have the Fatal Push for it, I mean, we're just going to get buried by this thing anyway. They get to kill both, which sucks. But it's really only one, because one's a copy. We're down to 7, but we're not dead. They didn't have Vein Ripper pre-combat, but they can play one now, and then we might be in trouble. Ah, here it comes. Alright, let's see if we can draw one of our own. We have a shot. If we can draw one of our own, we have a shot. Darn. Alright, let's loot. This Edict is dead. Land's dead. We drew it. Wow. Okay, so if we make 2 copies and attack for 12, what happens? They take 12, and then at the end of the turn, they take 12 more? No. We can attack with a goblin, though. I think this might be lethal. Or force a block. Which is also fine. And then this goblin just trades for 6 life also. Yeah, but I'm just wondering if they don't block, they're going to lose, I think. So I just want to force the block. And we still have our own Vein Ripper. They can only eat... I guess they can crew for 1 with this. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. But these 2 will die at the end of turn, and this one will drain 6, and this one will drain 4. So it says 12, 14. So they can block here, take 12 down to 10. Then the drains bounce. Oh, the drains always bounce. Maybe this is bad. Okay. This is better. I guess this is fine. We're going to 1. I mean... They only have 1 thing, and we have 3 things. So, like, we're going to be at much higher life. Only 2 creatures died. And then at the end of turn, I get 10? I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so they get 1, but we get 3. And then they get 1, but we get 2. So we're almost killing them. And we might be able to kill them next turn. Alright, we're at 21, though, so we just, like, don't have to block. Tandy, what card would you ban from Vamps if you had to take one out? Just Sorin, probably, which sucks, but... Sorin is always going to be a problem. They can just never make, like, big chameleons or whatever. Big changelings. They can never make big vampires like Vein Ripper. Like, Vein Ripper is a perfect 6 drop. It is an excellent 6 drop. Grave Titan-esque. But it's a little too powerful on 3. But I don't think it's ban-worthy, at least not yet. We'll see, though. I mean, I do think Vampires is my favorite deck. So they're attacking the Sorin. So what do they have that deals 3? Do they just need they just need... I think they just need... Oh, they have a Sorin? They have to sack too much stuff, maybe. They die. They die here. Nice. Nice! Alright, so we want Shoulder's Edict and Lilies. And then this matchup. Fatal Push is kind of weak, honestly. Duress to push. I think it's usually what I do. Yeah, that was sicko. Finding the extra Vein Ripper to be able to minus and do the combo with the Kiki Jiggies was great. Yeah, that was a good time to get raided. That draw happening. We'll keep this. If they don't have a 2-drop, we have the Lily to check. Turn 3 Sorin. Vampire. Dust Legion's out. Okay, we can still beat... We can still beat the Ripper. Kelly Ripper. Lily is always awkward against Dust Legion. Like, that's one of the reasons why I think Dust Legion's so good. It actually just is a body to just help protect your big boy whenever you have the Sorin minus. Fable. Okay, so we'll probably just kill that and then Lily minus. Maybe we just play Fable, though. Maybe they'll play Sorin and throw the vampire at my goblin. I can also draw Fatal Push or a 2-cost removal with the goblin ability to make a mana. No blot out in the sideboard. I like the Edicts better. I think Lily's just better in more matchups. And your opponent has a lot of discard after sideboard still. And relying on a situational removal spell that costs 3 does not bring me joy. Alright. Okie dokie. Big scare we. Alright. Well, we're probably screwed. The edict looks quite bad here. But it's all about this. It's all about waiting, I suppose. Alright, so what can we get rid of? These two probably. Blackleaf Cliffs. Nightmarish. We'll play Archfiend and try to trade with the Ripper, but unlikely it'll happen. Would old Monogreen Devotion be good versus Vampire? I mean, you're kind of the same deck, built differently. That you used to be. So, okay, you win. I think I might be dead. Close enough. What else? Mono green just doesn't have its same killing power against the rest of the field, though. I think I am just going to go back to 2 Bitter Triumphs, though. And I think 1 Edict, 3 Lily in the board is good. 3 Lily seems great. I wish I had played Lily. But I think just being on the draw in general sucks. Alright, we're going to keep this one. I'm going to put back one of the 2 Vein Rippers, but I know that lets the discard mess me up, but the discard always takes Sorin anyway. Alright, they're on 6 cards as well. This is a pretty good 6-card hand. It's very threat dense on the play, which I like. Thoughtseize! Alright, so Sorin down. We'll play Harvester on 2. They might take Ripper, but it's really dangerous to take Ripper. Because Sorin is just good on its own. And Ripper costing 6 is just, you know, it's like you take it way too early. Like, if there's no sword in the hand... Or, sorry, I don't know. I don't know when it's right to take Ripper. Well, they took it. Alright. Maybe they got plans. But if I had kept the second Vein Ripper in my opener, they would have definitely taken Sword instead. Thoughtseize is a good draw, but it's going to be a little while, I think, before we use it. Hopefully we draw the 3rd land. I've also been toying with the 26th land. I don't think that that's bad. And I might go down to 2 Archfiend of the draws to make room. Or maybe 2 Dust Legions out. Because normally when I play Dust Legion on 2, it's to, like, draw the land, right? Alright, let's go Fable. Get a little aggressive. And now if they have the Sword minus, we could have broken it up, but at the cost of just, like, basically no board presence. And so I think we just kind of hope that they have a normal-ish draw here. Alright, Thoughtseize number 2, that's fine. They're going to take Sorin. I don't even know if I keep the Thoughtseize. I probably just go for threats, discard lands and Thoughtseizes and removal. I really don't understand that. I guess they have the combo in hand. That's the only thing that makes sense. They would take that because they have Sorin, Vein Ripper. They might have a Fatal Push as well, which will restrict our clock significantly, but they're down to 10 already. We're going to maybe buff this next turn. Huh. So I think they gave it away. I think they gave away that they had Fatal Push, but... Just discard the land, I suppose. Alright, well, it's very useful for us to just do this anyway, even if they have the Fatal Push, because the Goblin is better long-term. We also drew the answer to the Vein Ripper, so I'm pretty happy about that. We have to sack our Goblin, but it is what it is. We also have a redraw here with the Blood token, and they might not draw the land, which they didn't. Alright, so Fable flips. We're going to go for a Blood on here. Archfiend. We'll buff this for Lifelink, and then we'll get a treasure, and we'll play Archfiend and Unless they have Bitter, they're probably dead, and the Reflection will basically ensure that. And we have the counter still for their big boy. I think we're in good shape. Them getting stuck on 2, obviously, huge deal. Love the song, me too. Yeah, 2 Bitter Triumph, 1 Edict versus 2 Edict, 1 Triumph. I think Bitter Triumph's just better. The Edicts just get clogged up by the Dust Legion Zealot. This is a really cool match. I'm glad that we got a big raid right before this match. Y'all watching that 1-game one was wild. All right, I am on the draw. I think I'll keep. My hand has a lot of utility lands in it. And we do have the blood token. Soren's a medium draw. It's something to do on 3. And anything to do on 3 is fine. Golgari. Innkeeper. Okay, so we're Amalia. Do we still have the Knights in our sideboard? This has been a long league, felt like. I think I'm going to Dust Legion so that I can throw the 3 damage at something next turn. So the Soren is a bit better. This Harvester can kill something, but it can't kill Wildgrowth Walker. I mean, if they just Coca me, though, it doesn't really matter. Amalia gain 1. Tough. They got a land. No, they got a Fauna Shaman. See if that goes to the graveyard. And now any creature they play will explore again, and we just kind of hope that they don't have... They can Chord for 1? Alright, let's hope that they don't have Chord. We could have just went Fatal Push on this, I guess. I guess there is a universe where we target Innkeeper instead because of Chord, but I think if they have Chord, we lose anyway. I'll just concede. This matchup is horrific. Truly horrific. Maybe the dresses are good. I think Preacher is bad. Archfiend can be bad. Dust Legion is weak. 2 more. Probably too many duress. Maybe the Edict's horrible. It's because there's so many shitty ones. I feel about the deck is without Smuggler's Copter. I think it is a more mid-rangey control-y deck without Copter, which plays better into Vein Ripper's abilities. And I think Archfiend of the Dross is excellent. And I mean, I think this list is like stock for a reason or whatever, right? Like we're pushing towards pure stock, and I think we are there after this league. And my time is done playing vampires, at least until next set comes out. We'll see if any cool vampires get printed. I know there's a new 2-drop vampire that says whenever you commit a crime, it gets +1/+1. That seems quite good with a lot of our targeted things. Our sideboard here of Knight of Dust Shadow is there to prevent the Amalia from doing much, but we'll see how useful it actually is. Like to play first? Yeah. All right, we'll keep. This is a little awkward. Path to Peril plus Shadow. Maybe the Shadow just forces them to overextend, though. Or maybe the Path of Peril... I mean, this is just a non-bow, right? These 2 should not probably be in the deck together. You dislike the Shaman builds? I don't know. I don't know the difference. No 1-drop. Alright, so now they'll probably just have to play out a bunch of creatures to try to attack me and kill me that way. Unfortunately, this doesn't have protection from white, which would be nice. can threaten to buff this. It has Menace anyway. Let's just attack for 2. It's so hard to play against the deck when they have Extraction Specialist too, because you need to like kill things to contain Court of Calling, and that just walks right into their thing. Alright, we'll attack. As Menace, so I don't have to do anything until they put a second blocker in play. They have to have push or get lost? Yeah. Are they going to cord for 1? Alright, it's probably going to be Selfless Savior. I'm going to kill just this. That's fine. Since it's an edict, I don't really care. And I don't want to make their convoke return thing good, so I don't want to kill this right now. And I also just want to make sure Path of Parallel is great, and I want to make sure this is good. So now they can start cocoing. I'm hoping I draw a land so I can just play Archfiend. I don't think Edict here is worth. But if they hit Skyclave and eat this, then I'll probably just lose. Probably. Does Molly have Fatal Push on the sideboard? I don't know. I don't think so. But they do have Skyclave Apparition, which is quite weak against me normally. Alright, we'll just shock, play Archfiend. Hope we don't die. Classic. Opponent has just 1/2 drop in play. Hope I don't die. Cord for 2. I was expecting Coco, not Cord. This is scarier. Then get Wild Growth, untap. Kill my Dusk and then gain life some way, or explore some way. Alright, well. I think I'm going to sack the Knight. It has to be... Yeah, I'm just going to sack the Knight. I'm just going to let them have it. And if they have it, they have it. But this is the easiest way for me to win. I'm just going to path, attack, and then attack next turn. They had to have some way to gain life. That was a good draw as well. Alright, put them to 3. And we have... They to push at the ready. And they can make me discard. We'll just pitch the Ripper. Even if they have an answer for this. Liliana of the Veil's wild. Alright. That was cool. Archfiend of the Dross, classic. Alright. Does anyone still hate Archfiend? Like, I don't understand. People fucking hate Archfiend of the Dross. It's the card that everyone says that's like, oh, I don't like this card in my deck. But every time I cast it, my opponent just dies. They just die. They don't have, like, the capability to beat it once I untap with it. Often. Gives you anxiety? It should not. If I told you that the only thing you need to be afraid of is Heartless Act. I have literally never seen the oil counters kill anyone. I've never seen it. I've played 30 leagues. Not that many, but I probably played 10 leagues with this deck. And I have yet to die to my own Archfiend. And I don't side it out very often. I'm telling you, it's just boosted. Do I want to play Dust Legion to mess with their thing? Not really. Just keep it as is, I guess. Yeah, you gotta dig deep. You gotta dig deep and just play the 4-cost 6/6 with no drawback. We're gonna keep and hope we draw land. In fact, we hope we draw land. Turn 1. Thoughtseize. Okay. So they'll probably take Sorin, but they might take Fatal Push or Duress. We got to get a little lucky, but on the Molda 6 in this matchup, which I think is horrible, just like, what else are we going to do? Well, we drew another dress, and they took a dress, so let's just fire it off. Return to the ranks or a Thoughtseize? Ooh. I guess we just take Return to the Ranks, and now we can maybe play a longer game. I don't love playing a longer game. We could have taken the Thoughtseize so that we can maybe win with Soren, but with them already having Wild Growth, the Thoughtseize is going to take my Fatal Push from me if I do that, I think. So now they'll probably take Soren, but they might take the push and just hope I don't draw lands. But we kept like a really, I don't know, variance-heavy draw. Hi, Landfear. How are you? Welcome. One-lander? Do you think keeping that one-lander was wrong? I would love to have a conversation about it. I think that the matchup is so bad that one-lander has to be like the only keepable one-lander or whatever. Going to 5 is a nightmare. This is just like the part of the combo or whatever, so killing it's the same. I don't know why they play Besage over Wildgrowth Walker. Just take a damage. Take a damage. Alright, perfect. So now they go Plains Wildgrowth. We'll probably discard the Vein Ripper. If we draw Sword, we won't. We'll discard Archfiend and hope they would get lucky. Alright. Well, now they'll play Wildgrowth Walker as well, but maybe they'll just save it. And we'll kill Prosperous, then sack Blood. And now with no cards in hand, the Amali off the top is not that scary. I mean, it's scary, but it's not that scary. But we'll kill this before we Blood. And we'll discard Thoughtseize since they're empty. Fable's good. Hopefully we draw the land next turn. Vulcan, welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. Sentinels! Horrible for us. Actual horrible for us. They're going to gain so much life. Sentinels with Wild Growth just makes Wild Growth so much stronger. We're dead. We're so dead. We needed to draw a few lands earlier. All right, you win. GG. Okay, so 3 and 2. Let's talk about the things I liked and didn't like. So first and foremost, these 2 copies of Knight of Dust Shadow felt like they forced our opponent to play in a certain way, but it did not feel like they had no answers. And if I felt like they would have no answers, I think Knight of Dust Shadow would be better. But they likely have some number of Fatal Push. They probably have some way to kill Vein Ripper. I don't know. I just don't feel like Knight of Dust Shadow is going to be in the deck, so I think I'm going to cut it. I think I want a 3rd Lily. And I think the Bitter Triumph number 2 over the Shielder's Edict. And then we essentially just have a free slot in the sideboard that can be a Grafdigger's Cage. It can be a removal spell. Because we have the 1 Edict. Maybe it's a 2nd Edict or a 3rd Path of Peril. The 3rd Path of Peril is like pretty good in some matchups like Boros Convoke. And I think Boros Convoke's much more popular IRL than it is on Magic Online. I don't really know what it is, but people really dislike Boros Convoke on Magic Online. It's like people will play it for like a week and then just give up, right? Could be Rending. I mean, it could be Tears of Valakut for the mirror. It could be an Edict effect of some kind. I'm really not sure. But what I do know is that this is about as close to stock as I'm going to get personally. And the 1 or 2 of slots that you change, you can do whatever you want. Everyone else is playing 4 Mutavault. I like 3. I was color screwed quite often when I was playing 4 Mutavault, 2 Cavern, and so I have basically swapped out a Mutavault for a Blightstep pathway. I've also cut down to 2 Sulphur Springs for the 4th Blightstep, and that's because the Blightstep on red is rarely painful. It only really screws you when you're trying to hardcast Vein Ripper really late in the game and have drawn a bunch of Mutavaults, but it's so rare. I've basically never gotten to 6 mana and not been able to play Vein Ripper. If you notice, like, we're almost a Giganta deck outside of these like double black and triple black at the top end. Everything else in the early turns is compensating for the Cavern of Souls by only having 1 pip of colored cost. And the Blood Tithe Harvester is special because of the Cavern of Souls being able to name Vampire. But yeah, this is the list that I like. It's a list I suggest, and it's the list I'll be posting up on my Patreon later today and talking a little bit about it. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Apex Gaming out of Caldwell, Ohio is just about to start Season 4 of their Apex Invitational Series. You can check out more information about the tournaments at apexgaming.gg. We're going to have a pretty big emphasis on team events this year. So if you are interested in playing some team events, make sure to head on out to Caldwell, Ohio, and check out apexgaming.gg for more info about their events. Next up, Moxfield. Thanks to Moxfield.com for allowing us to build our decks and share them with our friends. Check out Moxfield and build all your decks on there and share them with your friends. It's a great website, and we're so happy to have them as a sponsor. Lastly, Games and Comics Paradise is a game store out of Fairfax, Virginia, and they are specializing in trading card games. If you go to gcparadise.com, you can find anything you need for TCGs, from Magic to Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and now even Disney's Lorcana. You can find singles and more at gcparadise.com. I'm Tandy. I write articles on my Patreon about Magic. You can check out my Patreon for written content like sideboard guides and other interesting tidbits. I've recently written a sideboard guide for basically this list minus 1 or 2 cards, and you can check that out on patreon.com/Tandy. It's gonna do it for me today. Make sure to hit the follow button on your way out. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd appreciate a subscription. Hit that button, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. We'd appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow.